Yes.
Hello, everybody. It is
Hi.
time for another edition of Kryptonian Chronicles. We haven't done one in a while. It's actually been, I think the last one we did was August when we talked about the death of Superman.
Not my fault.
Some of us are busy.
Oh, I am too. Trust me.
I'll take the blame on that one. I haven't been reading, like I was telling before we started recording. I was telling Dave, man, I'm so freaking behind on my comic book reading. Like I just haven't not been motivated to do any reading. But I forced myself, somewhat, if you want to call it forced myself. I forced my motivation to read the book we're going to talk about tonight, which is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. We've been planning this one for a while, and we're finally going to jump into this. So, of course, as you can tell here, with me is Dave and JD. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Good.
Everybody all rep on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, ready to talk about it?
Well, I read it like 2 months ago, but I've been skimming through it before we started recording. So
That's good.
Yeah.
Same for me. I read it a while back, and then I started skimming through it again just to kind of get a refresh of what I had read.
Yeah, I reread it last night, so I'm fresh on it.
Mm.
But I think Dave's got some cool discussion topics for us, and we will be talking about that. Before we jump into that, I wanted to talk about some Superman-related comics that are up and coming. And I thought I would go ahead and just talk about the ones that are coming out in November, since we're like really close to November. So let's see what we have for November. November 5th. We have, if I can get this to share, there we go. We have Absolute Superman number 13. I really like this series. How about you guys? Have either of you been reading this one?
I'm reading it in the trades now. I was getting the single issues for a while, and I'm now just getting it in trades. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It is a very interesting take on the character. The whole conceit of the absolute universe, I think, is pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
That said, I did last night or yesterday while at work, I read DCKO, which is the next event that's coming out, which is part of the All In thing. And it's Scott Snyder does not need to be the person who is helming the DC universe. That's just all I've got to say. His take on the cosmology is just, man, it's just, yeah.
Okay.
But I love the title, the absolute titles. The Absolute Superman, Absolute Wonder Woman have all been great that I've read.
We've got some new ones coming out here in the next few months, I think. I think we have a Green Arrow coming out, if I remember right. I don't remember. This is probably one of the best. I think Absolute Batman and Absolute Superman are the two best of the Absolute universe, in my opinion. I mean, they're all good, really, but these are the two that I am more caught up on, shall we say. I think I'm only about 2 issues behind on both of those. But So yeah, we got Absolute Superman coming out on the 5th. Also on the 5th is let's see, I think we've actually got nope, we have one more coming out on November 5th. And this one is The Book of El, number 3. This one's written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. I have not been reading this series. Have either of you?
No.
Mm-mm.
See, now this first thing here where it says Brainiac returns in a terrifying new form actually makes me want to read that. So I may go back and check out a couple of those. But yeah, because I do like me a good Brainiac story.
In a new form, I'd be interested in what the new form is. That'd be kind of
Yeah.
that'd be kind of cool. Like if they're trying to reimagine him or something.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Have they? They haven't done that in Absolute Superman yet, have they?
Well, I mean, Brainiac is the computer that runs.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
The whatever the government thing is.
Yeah.
Just kind of like Skynet.
Yeah, kind of.
All right. November 12th, we have 3 Superman related titles coming out. First one being Action Comics, number 1092. And this is a very odd cover. Is that his brain? Huh.
No, it looks like purple.
Oh, okay. Somebody's throwing stuff at him. Okay.
Yeah.
And so this is written by Mark Waid, artwork by Cian Tormey. Yeah, I'm behind on this one too. Actually, I'm not even sure what the last one I read was. Also on November 12th is another. This is another title that I have not read any of. It is called The Kryptonite Spectrum, and it is up to number 4. Who's doing this one? W. Maxwell Prince.
Yeah, I know nothing about this book either.
I haven't even heard of this one. That's
Yeah,
terrible.
I knew it was coming out. I remember when they announced the number 1 issue, but I didn't jump on it. So
Looks kind of like a retro comic or something like that, you know.
yeah, let's see.
From the cover details.
So there's the third one. That's cool. He's got Shazam in there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I might check out the first one, just see what it's all about. Let's see what else is coming out on November 12th. I know there was another one. Oh, this one's relevant to what we have to talk about today. Supergirl number 7, written by Sophie Campbell. I was reading this when it first came out, and I was following it up until the time that I just kind of lost motivation to read. But I actually really like this series, so this is one of them I want to try to get caught up on.
Every time I see that shark, I know this is DC and it's not Marvel. I get that, but every time I see that shark, I think of Marvel Rivals and that stupid shark that you can play in the game.
Well, I'm guessing that is. Does it say anything? I'm guessing that's King Shark. But
yeah, I'm guessing that too. But I can't stop thinking about that dumb little shark in Marvel Rivals.
I like this. I like this alternate cover. It's a good cover.
You know, okay, real quick. I have to rant for a minute.
Okay.
Variant covers have got to stop. They're having multiple variant.
Go ahead.
No, it is ruining the industry. You are asking your customers to purchase multiple copies of the same thing. Half the time the art is shitty, on the extra covers. There's no reason. Okay, a number 1 issue or a beginning of a new arc, something, an anniversary issue, something special. But having every jabroni ass comic having 18 different covers is fucking stupid.
Well, I've been collecting. I'll tell you a little. I'll tell you a little story about that real quick. Because if you watched the episode that we had with Mari on the Darth Maul series,
the Darth Maul episode,
yeah, she was actually showing comics variant covers for the series through Star Wars that I'm actually reading, which is Jedi Knights, and they came out with a number 8 that had a special guest in it, and that special guest was Kelleron Beck, who is, if you don't know, he is the Jedi Master version that they introduced, and that's Ahmed Best's character that he plays, and they brought him into canon, and now he's part of the Star Wars universe, which I think is canon universe, which I think is great. But they came out with the variant covers, and there was like 8, Steve? There was like 8 variant covers or something like that.
That was quite a few.
Yeah, 8 variant covers for the number 8 series, and Mari was able to find me 5 out of them, and I'm like, I want all of them. And I see what you're talking about, Dave, because it makes me want to go. I want all of those covers, but it's the same one. So why can't they just issue like one comic that's a little bit thicker that has all those covers like in between all the pages of the actual comic, so you don't have to buy like multiples and multiples and multiples? So I kind of get where you're coming from on that.
Yeah, they want you to buy because it goes into the speculator market, and there are these morons who go out and they buy comics thinking, I'll flip this and make a lot of money. No, asshole. Unless you have Action Comics number 1, your shit is worthless. It's not going to make you any money. No one paid for anyone's college off of Death of Superman or Spider-Man number 1 or any of this crap. Just stop.
See, now what I will do, if there's a comic that I want a physical copy of, I look at the variant covers and I go, well, I'm going to get this one.
When I was getting physical copies, I was like, no, I just want the standard cover. I don't want any fucking variants.
Now I'll look at the variant covers and figure out which one I want. But
well, now do they list one that's in? Do they always tell you which one is the actual cover, or is it just one of those things where it's any one of them can be the actual cover?
I mean, I assume that like when I pull up League of Comic Book Geeks, the first one that pops up is the standard cover.
Okay,
and that's usually my go-to for seeing what's coming out. All right, moving along. We are up to November 19th. Got a couple here. First one is going to be World's Finest, number 45. I believe this is another one by Mr. Mark Waid. I'm super behind on this.
Yeah, I'm reading the trades. I'm up to the Eclipso storyline, and this thing has been fantastic.
Yeah, it's Mark Waid. Mark Waid is he does a good job with his stories.
Yes, yeah. He, in fact, the new history of the DC universe that he wrote is phenomenal.
Yeah, I like it. I like that. When I was reading that, I think I've read the first 2.
Yeah, the second 2 are out now, and it's fantastic. I still think I prefer the original history of the DC universe by Marv Wolfman and George Perez, but that is also a nostalgia thing.
Yeah,
but Waid does an incredible job of mingling so many different elements from different parts of the canon into one storyline that actually makes sense. It's really well done.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. The other book that is coming out on November 19th is Superman Unlimited number 7. Good God, they're already up on 7 on this one.
Damn.
So this is the Dan Slott Superman. I know I read at least the issue 1. I'm pretty sure I read number 2. I like it. Have you read any of it?
I have not.
Yeah, I like it. I'm behind on that too. Okay, last week in November 26th, there is only one Superman comic coming out, and that is Superman number 32. Lex Luthor is back. Apparently. Joshua Williamson wrote this one. Now, this is an interesting variant cover. It seems like it has nothing to do with Superman. What the hell is this?
I rest my case. Random ass covers that have nothing to do with the book.
Yeah.
Who
Fuck
is that?
right
I mean,
off.
is there a?
Yeah, I have no idea who that is. Is that?
Can we zoom into it? Any ideas who the hell that is?
No freaking clue.
Okay. Well, yeah, Dave, you got a point. If you can't figure out who the hell that is and why they're there.
Yeah, and the summary doesn't mention anybody except Superman and Lex. Well, that's odd. Okay.
You know what she looks like? You know, honestly, what she looked like, and if I can't tell, but it looked like it was like some kind of genetic like hybrid between like maybe Supergirl and Doomsday or some crap.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just throwing guesses out there, but
Yeah, I don't know. No freaking telling. So those are the Superman related comics that are coming out in November. So maybe I will eventually get caught up with this stuff. So today we are doing our Supergirl. We still have what else did we have planned? We have a plan to do All-Star Superman.
Correct.
And we've been talking about maybe doing an extended series where we look back at the TV show Superman and Lois.
I think we should, but
So that could be it means I have to watch more TV.
yeah, same here. I'll have to actually sit down and watch it. The whole thing.
I've watched it.
Not just select episodes, but like actually watch the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I've watched it. It's been a while, and I'll have to go back and rewatch it. Good show. I really like it. No, speaking of TV shows, JD, our friend Spencer, just launched a new Superman series. Him and I don't remember who else he's doing it with, but they're going to be doing a series over the show Smallville. It's called Before the Cape. Is the series that he's doing? It's on the Dingus Den.
Nice.
And I guess it was yesterday. They just did their first episode over the pilot. I'm trying to find out who is on the show with them. I can't. Yeah, I don't know who these guys are. But yeah, so that was that's going to be a long endeavor if they're going to keep doing that. But
at least I have plenty. At least I have plenty of content for a while.
Yeah. So Superman and Lois, All-Star Superman. I don't remember what other ideas we had.
As far as I know, that's the only things we've discussed really in any depth.
And we need to try to be more consistent.
We had to get through this one first and then move on to other things.
Yeah, we need to try to get more consistent with us. We'll see. You know what? We never did the episode that like we originally planned to do when we launched the series. We were going to do a series on, or not a series, but an episode on Absolute Superman. So maybe we should do like the first trade.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
We could do that. Yeah. I'd reread it. Anyway, so that's what we got coming, hopefully, on Kryptonian Chronicles. We're going to try to be a little bit more consistent on this, hopefully. But today, we are going to be talking about Tom King's Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Such a great book. So good. And they're doing
It's-
the Supergirl movie that comes out.
Next year.
It comes out next year. I'm trying to find. I think there was a release date, maybe June 26th. Is going to be based on this book. I'm really looking forward. I don't know about you guys, but I am really looking forward to this book. It looks like it's going to be really good.
Yeah, I mean, based on the cameo of Supergirl in Superman,
Yeah,
I think she's great. Millie or Miley,
Alcock. Yeah.
I think she's going to do a phenomenal job because she looks just exactly like Supergirl, and her just demeanor and everything, it was just perfect.
Like when I was rereading this book last night, I was imagining like Millie in the role doing all of this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I can totally see this. Totally.
especially the first part.
Especially when she first gets introduced, she's like, yeah, she is tore up.
Yeah.
I can totally see that.
Yeah.
Good. All right. So, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. I had some stuff pulled up here and now it's freaking gone. Great.
Well, I've got some information. So this was an 8-issue miniseries. It came out in 2021 and 2022. Like Steve mentioned, written by Tom King with art by, let me pull up the pronunciation, Bilquis Everly. And the art in this is amazing. It's so unique.
Yeah.
So it came out from August to April, and there are a few different collected editions with different covers that have come out. And like Steve said, basis of the film. And it's so the basic story is there is, and I'm blanking on everyone's names, but there is our main character who is the narrator. Her dad gets murdered by this grade A poop face who they had opened their house to, and gave this guy kindness, and he straight up murders the fool. And so she goes looking for revenge and goes to try to hire someone to help track this guy down. Well, she goes into a bar, and it sounds like a joke, but she goes in with the sword and goes up to some burly looking guy who's just in a loincloth and is like, "Sir, will you please go murder this guy for me?" And pleads her case. And the guy basically takes the sword, pushes her down, says like, "Yeah, I'll take care of it," and tries to walk off. And then Supergirl stops him. The thing, though, this is a planet with a red sun, and Supergirl's drunk as hell, and she beats the snot out of this guy. And but she ends up, the main character takes her home because she's all, 10 sheets to the wind, and we are off from there. Eventually, as Supergirl's trying to leave, and I gotta find this girl's name. What is this kid's name? Ruth.
Ruthye Marye.
Ruthye. So we'll call her Ruthye. And the bad guy is Krem of the Yellow Hills.
Yeah.
So Krem steals Supergirl's ship after injuring her and Crypto, and goes off. And then Ruthye and Supergirl go on an adventure to find Krem and are pretty much one step behind him for the vast majority of the series until the last few issues. So overall thoughts
Of the book in general.
in the book in general. Overall thoughts.
You can start, JD.
Admittedly, like this is probably one of the first Supergirl comics I've read, so I didn't know what to expect. And honestly, I didn't expect like the way the whole story played out. It kind of I didn't expect any of it, to be honest with you. I expected it to be like the fact that she was going, like the when I saw the Superman movie and then I saw the drunk girl and everybody said, well, this is a character based on the absolute Superman or the Supergirl, World Woman of Tomorrow. I was like, oh, okay, so there must be something going on with her. Like, why is she traveling to different places? So I didn't really know what to come up with on this whole thing. And overall, I was impressed with it. I liked it. The fact that it took place in different worlds and the whole time that she's helping this girl out and she's pretending like she's got problems or issues or she's dealing with her trauma. It was actually using the trauma that she had to teach this girl a lesson. Now, I didn't understand. One thing I didn't understand about it was why this girl was special, but I think it was more of a just to show that Supergirl was actually just trying to pass along the lessons that she learned in her life to someone else, so that way they didn't kill other people and kind of why. And I thought for sure I was going to be pissed because they killed off Crypto. Like this guy shot her with a poison arrow and killed off Crypto. Come to find out that wasn't the case. That Crypto didn't die. She was just using it as a like a ploy or a staging point. Kind of a something to teach this girl a lesson. And then out of middle of nowhere, the horse, Comet the horse. Now I don't understand that lore behind Comet. I thought now we've got a super horse. I'm like, which is cool. I mean, because I like horses, but we have a super horse that can like travel intergalactically. So that was kind of different, kind of neat. I didn't, that was completely out in left field for me. And then come to find out it's not even really a horse. It was a dude that was cursed to be a horse. So I'm assuming there's a lengthy backstory to that, but that's my ignorance of not reading previous Supergirl comics and not knowing about it. But it was all kind of unexpected. So to be honest with you, I'm kind of interested to see. Now it makes me interested to see how not only how they adapt this to a movie format, but if there's going to be more of it dealing with that. But from what I understand, they've gone in other directions and done different things. So I don't know how that's going to play out. So I'm kind of interested in that myself. So, but overall I was interested. I liked it. And like I said, maybe you guys can shed a little bit more light on some of that stuff. For me, overall, it was a decent comic. It got a comic from a standpoint of never reading a Supergirl comic and not knowing that stuff. It does have me interested. That like Dave said, the art was phenomenal. I love the art. I love the pictures of her, and then she changed her suit at the end, and she got a different suit. So I'm assuming when they go to the movie, that's going to be the direction they'll go in, is they get her a whole different uniform, a whole different suit, rather than the traditional like leg, the knee boots and the skirt and all that kind of stuff. Maybe they'll go to something a little bit different. I'm not sure how they'll adapt that, but it was pretty cool. So overall I enjoyed it. It was good.
Nice. So just so you don't feel bad, Comet the Super Horse was debuted in 1962, was created by Jerry Siegel and Kurt Swan. This is some Silver Age nonsense right here. And the fact that they were able to bring this character in and do something, really significant and cool with it and heart-wrenching. And we'll get to that in a little bit. Steve, what are your overall thoughts?
I mean, the book is incredible. Starting off with the artwork. How do you pronounce her name again? Bilquah?
No, Bilquis Everly, according to my good friend Google.
Okay, so yeah, she's Brazilian. Very unique art style. Really like it. But going further with the art, as much as I like the artwork itself in general, one thing that I really, really love about the artwork in this book is the colors. Colorist, her name is... Okay, I apologize if I'm assuming it could be a guy. I don't know. Matt, it's probably a guy. Matthias Lopez, also Brazilian. But the color work in this book is phenomenal. I will say, in the grand scope of things, I'm not like a huge fan of Tom King, but he has been doing some stuff lately in the last few years that's been pretty amazing. So, when I first heard about this book, I was like, oh, it's Tom King. And then I read it and I was like, holy shit, this is so freaking good. And the story is so unique. It's a space adventure and it's just freaking amazing. Like the entire book, you never see Earth. She never lands on Earth. You never see her there. To me, this was okay. It is a Supergirl story, and Supergirl is very heavily featured, of course. To me, a lot of it is more a story about Ruthie. So it's a Supergirl book, but it's the story of this girl who's trying to avenge her father's murder. And Supergirl just happens to be the one that's tagging along to help, get justice for her. And the way ultimately what happens to Mr. Krim is because they don't Supergirl doesn't kill him. She, Supergirl does Supergirl. He ends up in the Phantom Zone that we find out, and he's been there for I don't know how many years. I don't remember how many years they said. It was like 70.
I said about 100 years.
Yeah, it was a long time. He was in the so just the book overall. I think it's safe to say this is probably my favorite Supergirl story. There are a lot of Supergirl stories that I like, and JD, I'm gonna have to send you some links to some of my other favorites.
Okay.
Because you said you've never read a Supergirl comic, and that's
not that. Yeah, not really. I mean, like I said, I've seen her in.
There are a lot out there that are good. I
like
Supergirl. What the hell was that? Anyway, I think it's safe to say that this is my favorite Supergirl story. And like I said before, I am so freaking excited that this is what James Gunn has decided to base the movie version of Supergirl with. Couple of pictures I wanted to show you based on for the movie. This is the girl, if you're not familiar and or have not seen Superman. And that's a whole other story. Why haven't you seen that freaking movie? But this is who's going to be playing Supergirl. So that will be, I think she's going to do an amazing job. This is the young actress that's going to play Ruthie.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Cool.
And then this is the actor that's going to play Krim.
Oh, he looks like him.
He does look like Krim.
Yep. Yep.
So one thing about the movie, if you have been watching everybody listening, if you've been watching the news about this upcoming movie, you'll know that Jason Momoa is going to be playing Lobo in the movie. Just to warn you, Lobo is not in the book, so they are taking some deviations in the movie. It's going to be interesting. See, here's the thing, though. After reading it again last night and thinking about that, I'm like, okay, I can kind of see how Lobo would show up in here. I kind of see it.
Well, one, I think they're obviously they've said that they're trying to set up for a extended, like a new DC universe.
Right.
So it's going to be like the James Gunn verse. So there's going to be a lot more movies coming out that have to do with the James Gunn verse. It's going to be kind of like an MCU kind of thing where you're going to see more characters, more people pop up. And the fact that, I mean, I don't know if people are going to be confused, but then again, Momoa is not going to be in like the Aquaman stuff. He's going to be in the Lobo stuff. So you're really not going to, hopefully, if he plays the character a little differently, they're not going to get confused with like Aquaman. That's the only thing that I would be worried about. But I think him with a Lobo, I think he's more of a Lobo than he was Aquaman any damn way.
Right.
But
I was
just
about to say the same thing. He seems
Yeah.
more like a Lobo than he does an
Yeah.
Aquaman.
Now the good thing I think about, and it kind of ties in with this story, is that you said, like you said, it's not going to take place on Earth, where she's going through these adventures one step behind Krem the whole time. Where I think it's going to open up to where they're going to introduce a lot more like places in the universe, which in turn will introduce characters hopefully outside of Earth that we will get to see that might impact Earth. Because obviously Supergirl being from Earth, and then they get to that one planet where they talk about that's where Superman was imprisoned for a while with the Green Sun.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets hunted down by all these beasts, but he ends up making it out. And then she gets caught on that planet too, and she kind of has a few issues until the sun goes down, and so on and so on. And there's that part of that story in this book. So I mean, obviously they're going to be introducing places and things from former like Superman stories and Supergirl stories that they're going to start introducing, and it will help them to, I think, expand the universe even more.
I can see how they could insert other characters that may or may not have been in the book to help open up that franchise. I could see where he might do something like that.
What if now here's something that just popped in my head, and I'll ask you guys: what if, like, the bar that she's drinking at gets drunk at the very beginning? What if the dude in the loincloth ends up being Lobo? It's a cameo.
I mean, that could work. You could probably insert Lobo anywhere, and I mean, with the way that the series is written, you can easily, I think, in adapting it, take out entire issues, and the story can still flow, and you can sum up things pretty quickly, and you can, I mean, who knows? I do think that whatever it is, I trust James Gunn in that he has said story comes first above all else. Mm-hmm. Story before universe. So they have a story, they have a script. You know, they made the movie, and because there were whole projects that they were planning on that scripts never came around, and he was like, okay, well, that's on the back burner. We're going to work on something else, and that gives me a lot of hope for the whole thing.
Because those, I mean, there's nothing to say that those scripts can't come back up, and they end up doing those after they keep establishing. And if they can show that what they're doing, if they can actually make a series out of it, or if they can make a, I hate to say it because I hate to, but really the MCU did kind of set up this idea of them taking a bunch of stories and putting a bunch of continuity together to make it one big, huge, like, conclusion. They did a real good job with it. I mean, the Infinity Saga was amazing for the most part. There was some rough spots, but it did have, I mean, for the most part, it ended with Endgame, which ends up being one of the great, one of the best, like, superhero movies they've ever made. And it made them a lot of money. Now, if they could do the same thing with the DCU, which they've made attempts at it, and like the Snyderverse and that kind of thing tried, but it ended up ultimately failing. But if James Gunn can do that, I don't see why they wouldn't take all these old scripts, like you said, Dave, these old ones that they had, these other projects, and they ended up coming to the forefront if they could.
Yeah. So filming is already wrapped. Like they're done filming. It's all post-production now, which I was saying earlier. I'm pretty sure I was saying this before we started recording, but I was telling Dave that, I mean, the movie's going to be heavily CGI. There's going to be special effects out the yin-yang for this one. So the guy that's, we were talking about the guy who's going to be directing it, Craig Gillespie. He hasn't directed anything that I've seen. Maybe there was one thing that I'd seen. No, I can't. No, yeah,
Which is
I saw Dumb Money. He did Dumb Money in 2023, and I've seen that one, which is nowhere near the type of movie like this. But the individual that wrote the screenplay, her name is Anna Nagwari.
why do I know that name?
She has now, as far as film, I don't see anything that I've seen that she's done. I have heard of a couple of TV things that she's done. She's also an actress, actually. She played in a few episodes of The Vampire Diaries. I don't know. I haven't watched it, but I know it's very popular. And she did a few episodes of The Blacklist, which I've seen some of that. But it seems like James Gunn is very, I wouldn't say all in, but relying heavily on her, because in addition to doing the screenplay for Supergirl, she is also screenwriting the upcoming Teen Titans movie, as well as the Wonder Woman movie. But going back to the book itself, the book was nominated in 2022 for an Eisner Award for Best Limited Series. So it's a pretty popular book overall. It did not win. It actually ended up getting, let's see, the book beat it out that year was The Good Asian.
Okay, that's also excellent. So
Yeah.
man, and I voted in the Eisners, so I can't remember which one I voted for.
In 2022?
I don't remember if I was. When did I start voting? I know I've done it 3 or 4 times. I got to because I work in a library.
Okay. Good time.
It's because I'm badass, man. What are you talking about? Boom.
This guy, who's awesome. This guy.
Now, JD, you mentioned there was a scene that you mentioned in the book that I really like, and it's the scene where they're on the planet with the green sun. I just something about that particular piece of the story. I just really liked it.
Yeah, that was issue 6. I want to say.
I read the trade.
No.
I don't know how the issue line up, but the whole like Ruthye protecting Supergirl.
Yes.
I just liked it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was great. That was issue 5. And
I hope they don't leave that out of the movie.
I think that, so to me, the things that are the most important parts, story beat wise, are obviously the part of the beginning where Krem steals the ship. You got the drunk in the bar, that part. But also, I think it was issue 3 where they get to the world where there were they kept talking to like the mayor who just would not help them.
Yeah.
And they found that this horrible genocide had happened.
Yeah.
That issue is just heart-wrenching. It is.
That's the one where they kill off all the purple people?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh man, that was so good.
Yeah, I really think needs to be in the film. The Green Planet. So the battle with Krem, where he uses his little magic thing that sends them to the planet with the green sun, which I think is sun that has kryptonite in it or something. I can't remember why it messes her up, but it jacks her up real good. And I love how when she talked about how long Superman lasted, and she lasts way longer. And at the end, she's like wimp or said something like that. She makes fun of him. But that needs to be in, and then the battle in the end. So when Comet shows up, saves her from getting sent, getting the magic thing again, and then the comet dying. But then, most importantly, because through the whole thing, Ruthie is like, no, we're going to kill this guy.
Yeah.
No, we're killing him. No, we're going to kill him. And Supergirl, after Comet dies, is so broken. And she's like, I could not teach this girl the lesson. So you know what? I'm just going to kill you. And she is so close to killing Krem. And Ruthie screams, no, I learned it. And she gives this impassioned speech to Supergirl, explaining everything that she learned in their journey.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Supergirl does not kill Krem, sends him off to the Phantom Zone, and then they bring him out years later, and he is reformed. And I think I do love that Ruthie still hits him.
Yeah.
At the very end.
Yeah.
That part, I'm sorry, because I thought maybe we might get to that, but to me, that is the best part, because she brings him out, he begs for forgiveness, she smacks him with a cane, walks off, and says, "Oh no, I'm never forgiving you, but at least you're reformed." I'm like, this is freaking great. I love that part.
The ending is so
awesome.
great, and
He's like, yeah. It makes me think of like an old lady going up and smacking somebody on the back of the head and going, "Stop it!" Or just like those. I'm not forgiving you. But that's great. I'm sorry. That was awesome.
But yeah, that whole ending portion where Supergirl is fighting the brigands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just I feel like they shouldn't leave. They really can't leave that out of the book or out of the movie.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's so. I feel like it's so important.
And I love how their ship looks like a sea vessel.
Yes. What other? Do you have some other discussion topics?
No, those were really the big ones. Because those are the important scenes, I think, and I agree that this is really Ruthie's story.
Yeah.
She's the narrator. It's seen through her eyes. You see Supergirl through her eyes, and she learns a great lesson through it. It's kind of sad that she doesn't learn forgiveness, but also understandable. But yeah, it is just an incredible book. If you have never read Supergirl, I think this is a great just thing you can pick up. You don't have to know much of anything about the character other than she is Superman's cousin. If that's all you know, this book will tell you everything else you need to know.
Which is kind of good though, because they do give her origins.
Yes,
they do explain her origins. They explain this version of her origins.
Yeah,
and that kind of thing. So I mean, that does kind of help things along a little bit to understand her a little better.
Yeah,
I think, because I mean, there's been different, obviously, because from what I understand, even though I have not read many of the comics, what I understand about Supergirl is there's been several different versions and several different origin stories. Some where she's younger, some where she's older, some where she's not even from Krypton, but she just takes on the label of Supergirl. Or this one is actually that she's from a piece of Krypton that tried to survive and wasn't able to, and she actually had her upbringing was different than Superman, but how she got to Earth was kind of the same thing. They shipped her off there because they knew that they weren't going to make it, and she was just another survivor. And the brother of Kala or of Jor-El sent her there to try to survive in the same manner. So
yeah, she's had a pretty eventful publication history.
she has. Yeah,
A lot has to do with when they killed her off in Crisis on Infinite Earths. So the Supergirl that's in Death of Superman is not Kara Zor-El. It is not this character. It's I forget what it's called, the Matrix, and she just takes on the appearance of Supergirl. And that's, in fact, there's a really well loved run by Peter David, and it's about that character.
Mhm.
together.
Then she was brought back into the DC universe in a Batman Superman joint series, and so she appears in that. It has to do. There's like a big meteor of kryptonite coming, and Captain Atom eventually has to go up and destroy it. And when that happens, Captain Atom then gets sent into the Wildstorm universe, and there is a series called Captain Atom Armageddon that's set in the Wildstorm universe, and it's phenomenal. And then he gets brought back into the mainline DC universe in Infinite Crisis. But so her ship is in that meteor, so that's how she appears. There are a couple of animated films based on the two storylines that this is around. One's called Public Enemies, and I'm blanking on what the other one is called. They're really good animated films. But hold on, I don't have them.
Yeah, now I'm Supergirl. They did film.
But if you are interested,
was it Legion of Supergirls?
No, that's a different one. That's also very
Superman, Batman, Apocalypse.
Yes, that is excellent because she gets Darkseid comes and steals her away and tries to corrupt her. It does for a few minutes because this version of Supergirl is a teenager, and she has just gone through. She saw her world die twice, and so she's got trauma out the yin yang. And then she's also a freaking teenager, so she's dealing with all of being a teenager in a new planet. So she has to learn a new language and the whole 9 yards. But if you're interested in good Supergirl stories, I really suggest the book Being Super.
That's one of them I was actually about to. I actually have a list of Supergirl books that I was going to recommend to JD. And anybody else that's not read Supergirl and is interested. And I'm going to put the links to them in the show description. But Being Super was actually the first one that popped up on my list. Mariko Tamaki. But yeah, that one's a good one. There's one, the Girl of Steel by Jeff Loeb. I kind of liked. I'd recommend. And then there's, although I would put this last, I would read this last. At least the first story arc of Last Daughter of Krypton, which was written by Michael Green, and that is the New 52. But then also there's the Peter David. So yeah, Peter David run is a really good one. But yeah, Being Super is it's amazing. And this new one by Sophie Campbell, I would also recommend. I really like it.
Yeah, I'm going to be reading that one soon. I've got the first trade, I think. So I need to read that.
So we kind of touched on it, but one of the great things about this book are the central themes that over and over Tom King is trying to push out there. The themes of justice, compassion, vengeance is a big theme in there. Another theme that I think may get looked over, but I feel after rereading it yesterday, I think the idea of moral strength is very important to this book.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly.
Like, it's just...
Yeah, Supergirl, until the very end, she is so steadfast in who she is, what she believes, what she stands for. And it is, you see her almost break. And she is reminded that no, this is who I am. And yeah, I do think that's really good. And again, we need more things that are, teaching people the greatness of compassion
to be better people. Yeah. And how she's trying to, she's trying to impart on these central themes to Ruthie, who again, a big, probably the biggest part of the story is the whole, their whole relationship, their whole like mentor, student, protege, and then a little further, almost like a big sister, little sister dynamic going on there too. But how she's trying to impart her knowledge to this young girl who is just so singular focused. She just, I want to kill this guy because he killed my dad.
I will say I did love how she would, whenever she talked about wanting to kill him, there was a certain phrase that she kept repeating every time, and it reminded me of The Princess Bride.
Oh God.
Whether or not that was intentional, I would like to think that was a nice little homage.
Hello, my name is Supergirl. You killed my father.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. I didn't think about that, but yeah, now I kind of see that now. Yeah.
Or I guess it's Ruthie. Sorry.
It is Ruthie. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Ruthie. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
But yeah, such a good story.
Yeah. Well, final thoughts.
Man, I can't help but keep coming back to, man, I am so freaking excited for this movie. Like, I was like, oh, cool. When I first heard about it, I was like, oh, cool, there's going to be a Supergirl movie. And then I saw Superman a few times. I won't say how many. I saw it a few times. And seeing how James Gunn is setting up his universe gives me a lot of hope for the rest of that franchise. And then even furthermore, he kind of slipped Supergirl in there at the end and just got me more excited for this movie. I was just like, oh, this is gonna be a fucking great movie. So freaking good.
JD, final thoughts?
I liked it. I wish I don't know. Maybe you guys can help me out with if there's going to be more material based on this story. Like if they continued it, because that would be kind of cool to see. The only thing I'm worried about. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't think they did. Tom King is pretty well known for kind of doing contained stories. That's where some of his most acclaimed stuff has happened. Sorry.
The only thing that worries me about it is that I know how, like, you have your comic book universe and then you have like your cinematic version of it, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting and exciting. Like I'm with Steve. I'm excited to see the movie. I'm kind of excited to see where they go with that, because if they do it along the same lines as the new Superman movie, and then they use this storyline, it's going to be interesting to see how much of that actually translates over into the cinema, and how much of the actual story and the lessons and everything that goes along with it, how much of that transfers into it. So I'm kind of excited on that part, but I'm also a little bit like worried, because I really want to see the central theme translate and the central story translate over. So I hope they are. And it sounds like the characters they're putting into it, that will happen. So it's just going to it's going to be real interesting to see how it overall gets adapted. And so it'll be cool. I think I'm excited to see it, to see how it all works out.
I'm optimistic on how James Gunn is gonna attack it.
Yeah, I agree. I think there are, well, considering the fact that one of the most important moments in the Superman film is him saving a squirrel, I think they're going to get the themes right with this.
I think so. It'll be good.
And this is just an outstanding book. And yeah, I can't recommend it enough. Why don't we give this thing a rating and get on out of here? What do you guys think? Out of 5 stars? Out of stars, 5.
Out of 5 stars?
Yeah.
5?
I'd say 5.
Yep, I'm going the full 5, 6 in the Tokyo Dome.
There you go. So, speaking of Tom King, I just thought of another book we should cover on a future episode.
Yeah,
Up in
what's
the
that?
Sky.
Oh my God, yes.
Which one?
Up in the Sky. Superman Up in the Sky. You have to read
okay.
that if you have not read it.
Okay.
Another amazing story by Tom King.
I will say that it is in my top 3 greatest Superman stories of all time. It is so good. And I don't want to say anymore because I don't want to cloud anything.
Oh, good. You need to read it, Jenny.
Yeah, that needs to be. Well, okay, so we got to do.
I'm looking at it on my thing here.
We got to do All-Star Superman.
Up in the Sky. Okay.
Should we do Up in the Sky first?
Okay, who's read All-Star Superman recently?
That was All-Star Superman.
It's.
I think we mentioned it, so I put it on my list. I have not read it yet. I was going to read it next.
Crap. Grant Morrison.
Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever you guys. We'll talk about this offline. No one wants to hear our show notes.
So, those of you that are patrons, you're seeing this first because this is early access content. Hope you enjoy it. A few weeks from now, we'll be popping it up on the YouTube channel. So hopefully, you all enjoy it as well. But that is it for this episode of Kryptonian Chronicles. And I hope we do another one before 2 months from now. See you next time, folks.